Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing absolutely amazingly fantastic. Today we are going to be discussing yet again Drue and Gabe Basham because they continue to suck. And we're going to talk about it. Let's go. So for those of you that are new here, I'm Sasha and I do have Mickey and Minnie with me today, but they will not be on camera given my setup. But I do have a ridiculous picture of Mickey right here that I handcrafted for you guys, just so that he's with us. But know that they are also with us in person here, just not on camera today. But on this channel, my co-host and I discuss various terrible, awful, crappy behaviors that we see in influencers and influencer culture and call it out, with the goal being to bring some form of transparency back to social media. So if that sounds valuable to you or even entertaining, whatever the case, I would love it and appreciate it if you could subscribe, give this video a like, a hype, whatever you can do. It's very much appreciated. So let's talk Basham family. First things first, why do we talk about the Bashams? Now, I have covered them many times on the course of my channel. It's been a hot minute, but last time we talked about them, we were talking about rage baiting, which you'll see the karma that came from that real soon. But I personally think that anyone who is racist or ableist doesn't deserve a platform. Period, point blank. I think that's dangerous to platform those types of people. And that's a big reason why I jumped on talking about Drue and Gabe. Now, if you are curious, have no idea what I'm talking about, I do have a couple deep dives. They are old and probably super outdated, so I apologize for that. We've come a long way since my first ever deep dive on this channel, but there's also a mega thread on the Drue and Gabe subreddit. It's really amazing and a huge list that the mods put together, worked really hard on, and it compiles all of the really toxic behaviors that we've seen from Drue and Gabe over the years. And not only just the ists, right, that are hugely that are hugely problematic, but they also share their daughter, and we've seen the content get progressively worse, the outfits, the poses, everything over the last couple years, despite them saying out loud, out of their own face holes, that they weren't going to maybe even share their daughter online because Drue was feeling so protective over her.
We're going to show our child's face on the internet, and how do we feel about that as a Christian and as, I guess, new parents? You first.
Oh, me first? You put me on the spot? Okay, so here's my opinion on you. So I feel like, okay, there's a big difference between showing your child on the internet and exploiting your children. That is completely different. Just because you show your child's face does not mean you're exploiting your child. That's number one. Also, now let's talk about exploitation. Me and Drew have no desire to exploit our child. I really don't see a huge shift in our content to be. Maybe, yeah, we'll have a kid in our videos because it's going to be our baby and it's our life. Yeah. But it's not going to switch from our life to, okay, this is
day in the life of
our baby. Yeah, what did my baby eat today? No, it's not going to be stuff like that. But for me, personally, and I know for Drue as well, we do not plan on exploiting our children at all.
Yeah. That comes to like the next question, which I feel like it's kind of like the same question in itself, talking about the baby, talking about our life. Me and Gabe, social media is so different than others. There's people that are influencers, there's people that are content creators, and I feel like we are just lifestyle people. We post our life. Like, there's not any like rhyme or reason to our postings. Like, I post my coffee, I post what we eat for dinner, I post what we do, I post us shopping, I post
it's pretty much just everything.
So I feel like our videos aren't going to change. Like, I got a comment like saying, is this going to be about being a mom now? Is your content going to be mom content now? And the thing is I don't really know where it's going to go, but I personally don't feel like it's changed that much. I feel like we're still kind of showing the same things. And I kind of like what Gabe said is our content is going to maybe shift a little bit because we're going to have a baby, but it's still going to be the same things. Taste test, hanging out, our everyday life,
cooking dinner,
vlog, cooking, those type of things.
Going, going out and having fun with friends, all just the stuff we usually show.
The same things we usually do, we'll just have a baby now.
We'll just have a plus one.
And if I'm not feeling well that day, we're going to talk about how I'm feeling that day. So I feel like our content really isn't going to change per se. It's just going to be add-on.
It's just a new chapter.
Add-on, new chapter.
This is really a documentation of me and Drue's life.
Yeah.
And the different stages we're in, just like you said, but not just because you're pregnant or something, we're going to exploit our child. So it's not going to be all about a baby now. It's not going to be all about Drue being a mom now.
Yeah. Sure, we're not going to just exploit my baby because I'm already having a hard time sharing my baby. Like, I don't want to show nobody, like, any pictures. I don't even want to show Gabe. I'm like, it's my baby. I'm just kidding.
Turns out that was a lie. Who could have guessed it? Literally everyone on the freaking planet, but okay. And finally, one thing that keeps me coming back to talking about Drue and Gabe is the fact that they post a lot of stuff that is based off of survivorship bias and push those types of narratives. And I think that that's really dangerous for any public figure to do. I don't think that people should be posting advice or parenting advice or whatever the case when it's based off of I did it to my kids and they're fine, or my mom did it to me and I'm fine, when there's been research done over the years and research has come out saying that in fact is not fine. A big example was them giving their daughter food at 4 months old. Now, I know that's highly controversial, but you can't argue with the research that says that giving a 4-month-old baby, food is not only unnecessary, but it can mess up their gut health. There's tons of research on it. So I really don't think that survivorship bias is a good thing to promote on a public platform as a public figure, because ultimately you have new moms who are coming to your platform because you're a new mom and they're going to blindly take your advice because people have lost confidence in the healthcare system and refuse to also do their own research or get a second opinion. And I don't know, it's messy and it's dangerous. That's it. But as I said, I have quite a few videos over the past couple years talking about them and the various milestones that they've hit in terribleness. And today we're going to kind of just do an overview, check in on them and see what's been going on. So the first thing I want to touch on is the fact that she actively claims to be a good mom while consistently showing us that she's just not. And arguably, this is subjective, but when you are posting your daughter naked or exposed or in outfits that are geared towards adults and like adultifying your tiny little baby, no, not cool. And then there's also a lot of like negligent parenting and just irresponsible parenting. I think that they deserve to be called out for it. So one thing that got them a ton of backlash was when they went to Disney on Ice earlier this month. She brought her daughter to Disney on Ice in just overalls. And the funniest part about this whole thing is that when she was showing off the outfit, she said that these are overalls, so obviously they're going to need a shirt underneath.
Obviously, we'll have to put a little shirt underneath. It's just a cute little overall moment.
And then when Disney on Ice came around, she dresses her in just the overalls. Big open back, and takes pictures of her on the front step because that's where she takes her outfit pictures. And Ivory is literally exposed, sitting there on the front step. People on Reddit clocked it. People in her comment section clocked it as well. And instead of taking any accountability for it or anything, she just clapped back and called us all haters, which is one thing that she really, really likes to do. And that kind of ties into the survivorship bias and a lot of people speaking out wanting to protect Ivory from predators online. She labels that all as hate. And it's like, no, it's not hate. It is calling you out for your crappy behaviors. Stop pandering to the P3POs. Stop. It's not okay. It's not safe. And to do it and to post videos and pictures with her daughter with her legs spread wide open with just a diaper cover on, or like her diaper hanging out. Her extremely always full diaper hanging out, mind you, as well. But she's such a good mom. Can't even change your baby's diaper when it's literally saturated and overflowing, but such a good mom. And posting your kid, in the background, walking around in a diaper, in these suggestive outfits where it's like knee-high stockings and a diaper cover and a dress that's all open and exposed. It's stuff like that that really gets to people, especially nowadays, especially with the release of the Epstein files and all of that. You'd think that that would have been a wake-up call for influencers, but no, they just continue to serve their children on a silver platter to P3POs, and it's just not okay. It's disgusting behavior. And on top of that, she's never seemingly dressed for the weather. It's always Drue takes care of Drue first, and Ivory is a second thought. And if her outfit's not pretty, she doesn't even get to have pictures taken of her. She literally posted that as a reply to someone. Oh, she didn't want to dress up today, so no pictures. So your kid's in pajamas and you're not gonna, what do you mean? What kind of weird ass reply is that? That's so silly considering you post her every minute of every single day. But if she doesn't have a bow in her hair, then it's like, no, she doesn't get to be in picture. Like, good, stop dressing her up. But no, it's because she didn't want to show off her lazy, negligent parenting and show what a mess her child was that day. And then another big thing that people were clocking and calling out was the fact that she refuses to go to any kid activities. And this kind of links into the irresponsible/dangerous parenting as well. But she refuses to go to story time or swim lessons or anything because it's not in her area. It'd be too far of a drive. Yet she drove over an hour one way to go to Costco one day. The day that she couldn't go to story time, apparently, she drove for an hour to go to Costco and pick up a whatever coffee she got that day. So it's like, you can tell that that's where her priorities are. And on top of that, apparently Ivory was like climbing around in the cart, not sitting. And she was clapping back at people for that. And it's like, there are warnings on shopping carts for a reason. And that ties in again to the survivorship bias. Oh, I stood up in a cart and I'm perfectly fine. Yeah, but the kids who fell out of the cart because their moms were too busy on their cell phone making the Facebook post, those kids have long-term health effects from the severity of the concussion of falling on a concrete floor. So why are we risking it? Imagine knowing that something is dangerous and allowing your child to do it anyways, playing Russian roulette with your child's health or life or whatever. It's just unhinged behavior. And the thing is like climbing is great for children, but that's also why there's parks that are built so that they can learn resilience and problem solving and learn about their own body, their strengths and stuff like that, their balance. But God forbid we take Ivory to a park because, you know, we have to go shop all day, every day. And the one time they post per month that they went to the park, they think they're these big heroes. This poor kid has no child-centered activities, has no one who's in her corner looking out for her and her development and her best interests, which also ties into there being a lot of speculation behind medical neglect and when it comes to Ivory, and it's really freaking sad. Now, I'm not going to get into it. I want to mention it because it's been talked about a lot and there's some pretty damning evidence on Reddit, but please go take a look for yourself. I wanted to bring it up because it is heavily talked about. People are genuinely concerned for this little girl and her well-being and her development, and her parents are just completely neglectful of that. And it's really, ultimately really sad. But again, I don't want to speculate too much on that. So what else do we have? Tying back into the irresponsible parenting and stuff, one thing that does happen consistently is Drue gets really creepy comments in her comment section. I truly hope that as we all age, a social media is still around because she's become like the little beauty that we all want to watch grow up. I hope social media continues and that we can follow along your journey. Keep doing what you're doing because God, do what he was doing when he gave me that little girl. That's not normal behavior. That's creepy as fuck to call someone else's child your little girl and to fiend to see this child grow up. That's weird. And maybe it was a harmless granny commenting that, being like, oh, I never had children of my own. She's so cute to watch it. But no. It's not a child's job to be your daily dose of dopamine. It's not a child's job to be your entertainment. They cannot consent to this at all, period, point blank. And speaking of consent, I found this video on Reddit.
Hey, where's your outfit and your bow? Do you not want to take pictures today?
No.
No, no, no.
No.
Mommy, no, no, no. Tinkerbot, Tinkerbot, Tinkerbot.
So, of course, if she's not wearing a bow, she doesn't get pictures, right? That's what we said earlier. The irony in that video had me raging. This child is literally here at 1.5 years old saying, no, I don't want to take pictures. So what does her mother do? She films a video and posts it to the frickin' internet. Your kid told you she didn't want to take pictures. And yes, I know, she probably has no idea what the hell is going on. But if we're talking about boundaries and consent and teaching that stuff from a young age, what the frig are you doing? And it just makes her look so dumb because her kid is literally saying, no, I don't want pictures. And then she videos her and posts her to the internet. Ridiculous. The irony is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. So this was also a post that I found really telling. Disney on Ice was fun, but woo-wee, Gigi and Oma is going next time. Grammar, Drue, learn grammar. My arms are jelly. So even sitting through Disney on Ice with her child was too much for her. That next time Gigi and Oma have to go because it's too much for Drue. But Mom of the Year, right? Can't even spend a couple hours with her daughter. And on top of that, she's been posting a lot of imagine hating on me, and this is me and my moo and Mickey ears on a random Wednesday counting how many pink bows my daughter has so that I can justify just one more pink. Just because someone posts online doesn't mean they aren't human. Remember that. So it's so funny to me because no one hates you because you post online. Literally. No, you don't build up a subreddit of almost 50,000, maybe 50,000 Redditors who frequent it for just being someone who posts online, especially at Drue's size. She's not that big of an influencer and has 50,000 snarkers behind her who clock her every behavior because it's nasty. And she just lies and filters herself and filters her baby. That's weird and messed up. And to like the relatable posts, who knew motherhood would be me trying to get my coffee away from my toddler 24/7? Maybe if you drank actual coffee, not sugar infested, syrup infested milk with a splash of coffee, she wouldn't be obsessed with it. But this kid has such a bad sweet tooth because her parents have been giving her sugar since she was 4 months old. The poor eating habits that they are passing on to this poor little girl is honestly alarming and should be considered a form of abuse. Giving a 1-year-old and 8-month-old soda and juice and candy and slushies and soda, I already said soda, is irresponsible. On top of that, we have the fact that she is a public figure doing all of this, promoting all of this. And most people in her comment section either yes, queen her, of course, or are saying like this is irresponsible. But those people are just getting labeled as haters and as like stay in your own lane, mind your own business. And it's like, well, no, because it's not safe. And she's a new mom. Maybe she doesn't know that it's not safe or not okay, but she does, and she chooses to continue to do it. which made a lot of people think that, hey, maybe it's just rage bait. Maybe she's just rage baiting all of us, right? And we know in my last video a month or so ago on Drue and Gabe that Gabe had started rage baiting using Ivory, giving her hot dogs, chokeable stuff in the car, giving her energy drinks and monsters, and my cat almost knocked down my lamp. Careful, Min Min. And stuff like that. And that was just one short month ago. And that kind of ties us nicely into our next topic, because I can't remember if I featured this comment in my last video, but Gabe was getting called out for rage baiting with his daughter and just being a POS, right? Anyone who rage baits using kids is just awful, but to actively put your kids in harm's way for content for rage bait is a next level. So he clapped back at the hater saying, "True, I don't work, but somehow y'all leaving lit hateful comments on all my posts really helps me stay at home, take my new boat out, drive new vehicles, have a new house, and no job. It's great. Keep them coming. Thank you." So just clapping back at the haters right there. Hater, you guys are keeping me paid only for him to have gotten a new job at a used car dealership, which is fine, which is great. Good for them. He should be out working. We knew that their lifestyle wouldn't be sustainable. The overconsumption is asinine. I just saw I don't think I saved it, but I saw their Easter post, and I'll try and insert a clip here of it. Unhinged. Influencers are ruining literally everything, even down to holidays. And as God-loving Christians, you've completely lost the plot. It's not about bunny. It's not about chocolate. It's not about toys and overconsumption. It's literally about Jesus dying. Yet here we are, and influencers have made it this big commodity where it's like, if you don't get your kids all this new shit for Easter, then you're a POS parent. You're missing out. FOMO. The whole 9 yards. It's just silly. It's so silly. But it's really amazing to me how fast the rage bait failed and didn't work, and he had to go get a big boy job. Like, big boy job. He's working at a used car dealership. It can pay good. Let's be realistic. Car salesmen can make a good living, and he's loud and obnoxious, so he will probably be somewhat successful in it. But the fact that he said that rage baiting his daughter allows him to stay home and allows him to this and that and the other thing, and now just a short month later he's selling his new boat, like, they are hurting for money, selling his brand new boat. And it's so funny because I don't think I saved the comment, but Drue was basically clapping back at haters, being like, God, you guys are never happy. You know, he's a deadbeat if he stays at home and no job, yet you make fun of him if he does get a job, and yada, yada, yada. Like, we're trying to better our lives. We're trying to be like two income, stable life, stable this, blah, 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 blah. Well, if that was the case, like, he probably wouldn't have to sell his boat. You know, but they are so far in debt that they don't have a choice. And ultimately, that's really sad for Ivory, because you know that she's not getting a single ounce of money when she ages out of this. And I hope that she cuts her entire family off when she turns 18. She's going to have nothing. They liquidate all of their money to the point where they aren't living comfortably anymore. I said in my last video, rage bait has a really short shelf life. It can make you a lot of money, but in their case and the way they were going about it and stuff like that, I'm not surprised that it fizzled out so fast. And people were like, yeah, no, this isn't okay. And it kind of gives me a little bit of hope in social media too, and like that little glimmer of hope that things are changing for the better for social media. And we're headed in a right direction where people aren't falling for rage bait, where people are calling it out and just like not supporting it anymore. So fingers crossed that we continue that way. But yeah, realistically, their platform is spiraling. It is on a downward spiral, and they're broke as and I don't know. It's the karma that we like to see. You know, I'm not here, and I've said this before, I'm not here to cancel anyone. I don't care. It's not that deep. But if you're going to be using your child like this, I'm going to call it out. and we're going to call you a terrible parent, because anyone who knows that there's predators watching their content and continues to post their daughter in suggestive clothing, in half clothing, in a diaper, just not okay in my books. And on top of that, not taking any of the constructive criticism or feedback that people are giving you and just labeling it all as hate and continue to display poor behavior on top of that. It's too far. It's not okay. And they're digging their own platform's grave at this point. But as I said, I think I'm going to be keeping up with Drue and Gabe pretty consistently now. It's constant, the terrible behaviors, you know, the everything. It's constant with them. And the fact that they know and choose not to change and grow up and be frickin' adults and actual parents is all the reason to continue to call them out on their BS. There are some things where it's like, oh, it's not that deep, which I agree with. I don't remember what I was going to say. But for the most part, it's just terrible, and it's putting their baby in harm's way and in front of predators constantly, every day, with her legs spread wide open, with nothing but a diaper on, with her chest exposed because she's supposed to have a shirt under the freaking overalls. And the fact that she said it a couple hours before, a couple days before, and then proceeded to not put her in it, and then on top of that went to Disney on Ice with her just in overalls. That kid was probably freezing and miserable. No wonder she wanted to be held the whole time. She was probably cold. But Drue gets a cardigan, and Cece got to wear her jean jacket, and they got all dressed up cozy warm to go into a skating rink. But because it's hot in Texas that day, you know, their daughter doesn't get to be comfortable, and that's consistently what they are showing us. She is always severely underdressed. And that shows you exactly where Gabe Basham's priorities lie. It's not in being a good mother. It's in treating her child like a living doll and dressing her up like her own little prop to show off on social media. That's her priority, is her social media content, not her daughter, not her daughter's development or well-being or anything. And it's sad and disgusting to see. And it just keeps getting worse. So I'm just going to keep talking about it. I think that's all I have for today. This is just like kind of a quick little update video that I wanted to do for you guys, because they just continue to suck and continue to do things, and it had been a while. There's always something every single day. Even for this like quick little update, I'm sure I forgot some really key things to say, so I'll get it in the next one for sure. But yeah, I don't think that these people deserve a platform. I think it's great that Gabe got a job and they can be more stable, more consistently stable. I think that's good. That was the responsible thing for him to do. But for them to sit here and still exploit Ivory the way that they do, and basically have their entire platform and paycheck off the back of her, only for her to grow up and more likely than not, have nothing to her name, not a single penny to her name that she earned them, that it's just not okay. And I think that needs to be called out more consistently. But that's what I have for you guys for today. I hope, like I said, you are having a fantastic, beautiful, wonderful day wherever you are. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you head out. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.